Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience tuning in the South on WYAD 94.1 FM or WYADonline.com. We welcome you. Also, is joining us around the world, thanks to our friends at iHeartRadio. We're glad that you all could be with us as well. Well, this has definitely been a challenging time for a lot of individuals, but especially those who have businesses or have been thinking about starting a business. If you find yourself in either one of those categories, our next guest is definitely going to be able to share some information with you, not only help you to have courage as you're moving forward, but also to making sure that you're setting up your business or your company for success. We're really excited to welcome Len Garza to our program today of Garza Law, LLC. We're going to talk to him not only about the work that he's able to do with startup companies and emerging big companies, but also how he can be able to help all of you guys when it comes to structuring and making sure that you have what you need to move forward successfully. Len, thank you so much for the time today. Really appreciate it.
Cyrus, thanks for having me today. It's a pleasure to be on.
The pleasure's definitely all mine. So we're going to get more into what our audience can definitely benefit from you, Len. But I want to kind of begin with the backstory. Take us into Garza Law LLC. I mean, how did you get started, and what are some of the things that you specialize with?
Sure, Cyrus. So I'm a business lawyer. I really focus on helping small to mid-sized businesses, right? I mean, there are large, very large corporations, multinational corporations out there, but really the niche I serve is the small business, the family business, the maybe a few founders. So it can be startup companies, but when people think startup, a lot of times they may think, the high tech, the back in the day, the startups, the Google, Facebook, things like that. But it's high tech, low tech, and no tech, right? Any new business that's getting started. And Garza Law, I started it last year because that's what I really wanted to focus all of my energies on. I've been practicing for over 12 years, started off in business litigation, seeing how contracts and businesses have problems and get into court. So that really helps me advise businesses on this end to be able to stay clean, stay in compliance, and stay out of court and run your business.
And that's what I love when I was prepping for this segment. You and I got a chance to speak a little bit, Len, before we got started. And one of the things I did, and we're going to be letting our audience know how to go to your website, El Garza, is where they can go there, elgarzalawllc.com. And one of the things that you have on the website is a blog. And there's a blog that you wrote that kind of gives some tips for legal considerations, especially for startups, as you were just talking about when you go in. Because a lot of times people do, right? We get excited. I know, it happens to all of us. We think, oh, my goodness, I want to start this business, and we just think we're just going to jump right in. It's part of the work that you've been doing with your company, Len, is kind of letting people know, it's great you have this idea, it's great you want to get started, but making sure, as you were just saying, that you're setting yourself up to succeed and not to fail.
Absolutely, Cyrus. So you really hit the nail on the head there, right? And it's exciting. It's exciting to start a business. It's like I've heard people explain it. Some very excited founders. It's like the birth of a child, the birth of something new, right? This is your creation. As exciting as it is, you want to get the right direction, the right advice, because it's multidisciplinary. There are so many things out there to know, and maybe some business owners know that they don't know everything, but there are other things that they don't know, right? It's just there are a lot of traps for the unwary out there. There are legal issues, tax issues, outside of just deciding, how am I going to get clients? What are my ideal customers, clients, things like that. So really, I help from a legal aspect provide them a framework of some of the things that they need to be thinking about so they can be successful in business, so they don't get bit down the road with a lawsuit that threatens to take everything they have, that if they were structured the right way or got the right counsel at the beginning, they could avoid it and minimize that risk.
Yeah, what a great point. So, Len, let's get into then some of the things. Again, I love the fact that we're going to give that website out again a little bit later because it definitely is some great information there. Do you have any general advice that you normally share for new business owners that they can follow to kind of help them get started?
Sure. So just a few things. I mean, this is very general, very broad strokes, but you want to make sure a couple of things. You want to make sure that you're set up correctly as a business. If you don't do anything to set up, then you're what's called is a sole proprietor. The type of businesses one can set up, I'm pretty sure a lot of your listeners are familiar with. They're corporations, they're LLCs, they're partnerships. There are a variety of different ways to set up the businesses, and there are a lot of technical details about the pros and cons of those. But essentially, you want to be set up. You want to know your vision of where you're going to grow over the next 1, 3, 5 years, and even longer if you can, because that will inform the type of business entity that's right for you at this time. No one entity fits all. It's not one size fits all. As popular as a corporation is, as popular as LLCs are, depending on your specific business, it may or may not be right for you. Right? Maybe a corporation's better, maybe an LLC's better, maybe neither. Maybe we go to a partnership or make some form of a combination. An LLC taxed as an S corporation. There are obviously tax implications that run through all this. So it gets very detailed very quickly, and that's why having the right advisor who's experienced in this to be able to walk you through your own factual situation is so essential. So that's important. Number 2, get it in writing. You want to have things in writing. Why? Not necessarily because you're anticipating litigation with you and the other side. You know that that's something that can help avoid litigation, having things in writing, but it lays a framework out for you and the other side to know what you're both agreeing to know that you are talking apples to apples rather than apples to oranges. You know, you're taking as much vagueness out of the terms as possible, and it spells things out. You know, as tempting as it is to want to do business on a handshake, that I wish it were that easy, or wish it were that straightforward and there could be no problems. But anytime you get into any type of a detail or any type of substance in a business deal, it is essential to start having things in writing by non-disclosure agreements, confidentiality agreements for some of your sensitive information. And then as you go further, as you grow, having agreements for employees, for contractors, so everyone can know what the expectation is with their particular business transaction. That's absolutely crucial. And then number 3, this actually isn't so much legal advice, but it's as important as anything, is as a business owner, you have to know your why. You have to know your purpose for why you're doing things, for why you're going into business, because things will get hard. Things will get challenging as a business owner. So being able to go back to your why, not going out and starting your own business off on a whim, but having things in place, being serious about it, being committed, that's really important and crucial in getting you through the tough times. And once you do get over those humps and tough times, you learn a ton, and it's one of the most gratifying things in life.
What a great thing. I appreciate you sharing those with us, Len. So, Len, I want to ask you, because based on what you just shared there, it sounds like then the services that you're able to offer are not just for those who are just starting off, but even those who find themselves in a situation like if they're contemplating making a change, like bringing in a partner, or when it comes to knowing what type of agreements. Is that part of all of the services that you offer, not just in helping them start, but also making sure as their business is going on that they're able to have what they need as well?
Absolutely, Cyrus. It's through the whole business life cycle. So, for example, I help businesses start. I help businesses if they need to divest or break up. For example, I'm helping a few family businesses right now where they have multiple partners. One partner wants to leave or exit the business. how does that happen? How does that occur? There needs to be written agreements. Things need to be negotiated to make sure things go smoothly and that there's no disruption to the business, while also making sure that the departing partner is treated equitably and fairly, and that the company and corporation, however the entity is formed and managed, that it's able to go on is a successful ongoing concern. So I help towards the tail end as well for business breakup, so to speak, as well as formation and everything in between, with growing, having the right agreements in place, bringing on a new partner, making sure that their buy-in to the equity and ownership of the company, making sure that's taken care of. For companies looking to have a compensation plan, an equity plan, deferred compensation for some of their employees or key stakeholders and shareholders, I help develop those plans as well. And with all of these things, there are multiple laws, statutory frameworks that a business has to comply with, aside from just having the contract drafted and having the terms spelled out. There are certain things that if they aren't complied with statutorily, both through federal and state regulations and laws, that could subject the business to penalties. So not only keeping business owners and companies out of hot water there, but also helping to structure whatever transaction or whatever growth they're looking to make, so that they can be profitable and successful going forward. So everything, Cyrus, soup to nuts, not only beginning the corporation, but towards the end of life of the entity, whatever that may be, and then just about everything in between.
Yeah. And I think this is so important for our audience, Len, because even though this year has brought challenges, it has definitely brought opportunities. I've even seen in my home state of Mississippi, you have, children's boutiques who are offering new services, curbside services and those kind of things. And they're thinking about restructuring their business. So I totally get what you're saying about, definitely the business can evolve. And it's great to have someone there to be able to help them. So I guess an obvious question would be, because our audience is kind of all over the place, Len, what area are you able to serve?
Are you speaking about geographically, or what type
yes.
of cases or matters
right.
I handle? So geographically, I'm in the Northeast. So I am in the New York City metropolitan area. So New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. I've pending admission in Maryland because of some potential client needs there. So those regionally, those are the clients and businesses that I can help in the Northeast.
Got you. But I love the fact that you're able to have a place where people can go to be able to get this information and to reach out, as far as even if it comes to being able to reach out to you for consulting, knowing that you're available for them there. And I think that's a great thing, too, that you've made that available. I mentioned the website earlier. Again, that is elgarzalawllc.com. Again, that's elgarzalawllc.com. For those who are joining us online via our podcast at iHeartRadio, we'll make sure that we link that up for you guys. And, Len, is that the best place for people to stay connected with you as well?
Absolutely, Cyrus. That's the best place. And to your point, you made a great point there. I make a point to post blogs frequently that really these things apply not only in the Northeast, the subject, but really all over the nation. So simply from an educational standpoint, I try as much as I can to educate through these blog posts, and so the readers can have some actionable advice or not advice, but some actionable information to be able to say, look, I want to take this next step or what have you, and help give them a little bit more framework for particular transactions that they might want to enter into. So exactly, elgarzalawllc.com, that's me on the web, and then it has my contact information readily available within that website as well.
All right, make sure you guys take advantage of that. Again, everyone, Len Garza has been our guest. Len, thank you so much for this time. I really do appreciate you dropping by. And it goes without saying, you're welcome back here anytime.
Cyrus, thank you so much. It's truly been a pleasure.
Hey, same here. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live today. Let's make today amazing. Take care.